Hi everybody, this is part 2 of our tutorials showing teachers how to move their local Google Workspace for Education accounts to their DOE Google Workspace for Education accounts. On my screen, on the left-hand side is my local account, and on my right-hand side is my DOE account. In the previous video, in our local accounts, we created a shared drive, and in that shared drive, we moved our files and folders into the drive. So here you go, shared with my DOE account. Right now I just have 2, but you will be moving all of your folders into your shared with my DOE account. There's 2 things I want to mention. If a folder has an arrow in it, that means that somebody else created that folder. And even though it might appear that it's allowing you to move it to your shared drive, once you get to your DOE account, it will not allow you to become the owner. So the person who actually created this folder will be the one who can move it to their shared drive and then reshare it with you on the DOE account. The other thing I wanted to mention is that you should not move your classroom folder. It should just remain in your local account. So at this point, once you've done all of this, you're still working in your local account. You have your Google Classroom in your local account, and you're posting your assignments from your shared drive. At some point, you say to yourself, well, I don't want to keep going back and forth. I just want to use my DOE account. So what you're going to do is you're going to create your Google Classrooms on your DOE account and have your students register with their DOE accounts in your classrooms, and then post your lessons from your shared drive here. So you will no longer be using your local account. You'll no longer be using your local share drive. Instead, now you'll be using your DOE share drive. After that, you are then going to want to consider moving your folders from your shared drive into My Drive. And the reason to do that is so that those files and folders will become owned by your DOE account, as opposed to sitting in the shared drive where they're owned by the shared drive and still accessible in your local account. Because at some point, your local account is no longer going to be accessible. So what you would do is you would just take these folders. You could just copy them all. You could create a folder in My Drive if you wanted to, and just take all of your folders, copy them, and move them into My Drive. And once you move it into My Drive, you are making yourself the owner. The only thing that you need to look out for is when you have a folder that you shared with somebody. So I shared this with another teacher, and I have a document in here, and the other teacher created a document in here that they're the owner of. When I take this file, this folder, and I move it to My Drive, I am going to become the owner. So we're going to test that out right now. So right here, we're going to see that it's in my share. It's myself. I'm the manager. My local, and my DOE. And the person that I shared the folder with is a contributor. The file that I created right here, it's going to say that I am editor, and that person is also an editor. Done. And then the person that created the other file, it's going to say that they're an editor. They're no longer the owner of this document. We're all editors, so we all have equal footing. But when I move this into My Drive, I'm going to become the owner. So I'm going to take this test folder 1, and I'm going to move it into My Drive. And now when I go for test folder 1, it should be on the bottom. Here it is. Let's see which one it is, because I have 2 of them. And we go to the drop down and see who it's shared with. It's going to say that I am the owner, and it's also the other teacher is going to be there as an editor. However, they're going to be there in their local account. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need reshare it out with them on their DOE account. Now, this is the document that this teacher created, so they should be the owner of it. But when you look in the share, it once again is going to say that I am the owner and that they are just editors on this document. So what I would do is I would just add their DOE account. And once you do that, you can also transfer ownership back to them if you would like to. And that's it. And that would be, once you move all your files to my drive, you could just highlight them all and just drop them into my drive, reshare them with anybody that they were originally shared with, continue posting on your Google Classroom, and you will have little to no need to then continue using your local account. I hope these videos were helpful.